Hey everybody, and welcome to the next edition of the Soccer Fitness Goals video blog, and the first for 2018. So for this first blog of the year, I thought I'd keep it light and discuss a topic that seems to come up quite frequently with me in the work that I do, and that is, what should a soccer player do when they're recovering from an injury? Now, it goes without saying that the first thing that any soccer player should do if they've suffered an injury is to go to a physician, have the injury properly diagnosed, and also to get a list of what movements and exercises they can and cannot do. That is the primary concern, just for safety and optimal rehabilitation. But with that out of the way, we'll get on with the blog for this week and my list of the 3 things that every soccer player must do when they're recovering from an injury. Number 1, show up. It seems pretty obvious, but unfortunately for a lot of soccer players, the first thing that they do when they've suffered an injury is they stop showing up to their team's training sessions and games. Maybe they're using this time in order to go to physiotherapy or do rehab, but most of the time it's just an excuse to take time off, and that is about as unprofessional as you can get as a soccer player. Just because you're hurt and you can't participate in training or in gameplay doesn't mean that you can't still benefit from sitting, watching, observing, and interacting with your teammates. And not only will you benefit from it as a player, but the team and the coach and everyone around will also benefit. In the event that you're ready and you've rehabilitated and ready to come back, trust me, that time that you spent showing up to training and showing up to games and still making everybody feel like you're part of the team will work wonders for your integration back into the team and to positively affect your play from there on out. Number 2, prioritize aerobic endurance training. The most important physical attribute for any soccer player is, was, and always will be aerobic endurance. Without endurance, you are not able to recover in between the high-intensity actions that you need to do in a game, and you are not able to play. And unfortunately, for soccer players and any other athletes, it takes 6, 8, up to 10 weeks to get a significant improvement in your endurance through training, but it takes only 7 to 10 days to have a significant decrease in performance. And that means that if you're hurt and you start to become inactive, and specifically if you stop doing any aerobic exercise, you can very quickly lose all of the gains that it's taken you the whole preseason or the whole season to make. So, what does that mean? Well, if you can't run, try riding an exercise bike or an elliptical machine. If you can't bike or use an elliptical, try swimming. If you can't swim, try using an arm ergometer or an arm cycle, something to keep your aerobic energy system active. And as you start to become healthier, then you need to start increasing the intensity, the time, all of the different variables associated with aerobic training. Eventually, as you're progressing through your rehab, you're going to start to be able to ride a bike even if you couldn't before. And eventually, from riding a bike, then you're going to be able to start walking and running, and eventually you're going to start to be able to walk and run at higher intensities and get yourself back to your normal level of activity. But if you don't make aerobic endurance a priority, you will lose it and you will regret it for the rest of the season. Number 3, perform strength training for all of the muscles, joints, tendons, ligaments, bones, all of the different body parts that are not directly affected by your injury. One of the positives of having a lower body injury, for example, in soccer, is the amount of time it allows you to spend focusing on strengthening your core and your upper body. Same thing if you've had an upper body or an abdominal injury, it may allow you to spend a lot more time focusing on your legs and other types of muscles in your strength training. So use the time positively and proactively to increase all of your other levels of strength for all other body parts. Once you are able to start training and playing soccer again, you may find that you're actually stronger, more powerful, and more resilient and resistant to injury than you were before. And that's going to be a result of all of the attention you've paid to strength training while you were hurt. So that caps off the Soccer Fitness Goals video blog for this week and my list of the 3 things that all soccer players must do when they're recovering from an injury. Hope you liked it. As always, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. You can do it by clicking on the link underneath me now. If you'd like to download the world's only soccer-specific, customized, at-home fitness program on a mobile fitness app available on all cell phone platforms, including Apple, Android, and BlackBerry, and by the way, a home program that you can use when you're recovering from injury, you can download the Soccer Fitness Goals mobile fitness app via the link underneath me now. We'll see you next week on the blog, and until then, keep reaching your soccer fitness goals.